Hello! Well, in this episode of Finno-Ugric Machining, we are going to change the car battery. Well, why this, clothing? Well, this is not Florida. We are in Finland, and we have some maybe 10, maybe 11 degrees Celsius out there, and it's below zero. So not over, below zero. So it's actually very nice winter day. So, changing a car battery to a Subaru Forester 215 model. This is actually very easy task. Just wish that it would be a little bit warmer now. But, well, yeah. So let's look at the tools that are needed first. Wait a minute. Well, actually, the tools you are going to need is here. This is 10 millimeter wrench, and this is the only tool you are going to need for this one. And then of course, you need a new battery. I'm first going to talk about the batteries, how to choose the correct one, because you can go wrong with this one. And then also to protect the terminals, one could use some dielectric grease, but standard grease will do in this case because we are not going to have arcing here. It's just to protect the terminals against corrosion. So, yeah, if you leave it out, there will be this white powdery stuff all over the place after a while. So, better to have this there to prevent it from happening. You will see. The car battery in my car is, it's 7 years old. And it still looks like new. But yeah, hopefully this one, which we are now going to replace it with, tolerates time as well. So let's go on with the selection of batteries first. This here is the new car battery I'm going to use to replace the old and tired car battery there. And yeah, just a brief talk about different types of car batteries. As far as I know, there is three major types of lead acid car batteries available there. The first one is a so-called normal battery, without any improvements. It can be used in most of the older cars. Then we have this EFB type, which we are going now to use. And then we have furthermore, and this is considered to be better. And then we have a super battery called AGM. Well, if your car has an EFB battery inside, it usually is there because it has a so-called start-stop system. So when you go to a traffic light and need to stop there, and your car idles, and if it's warm and your air conditioning is off, etc., the car will actually stop the engine. And when you intend to drive away from the traffic lights, it will start it again. So in an urban traffic, it may create tens of cranks for a small trip to some other place, because you need to stop on traffic lights and it will stop the engine, start it again, stop, start, stop, start. And this battery is designed for that kind of use. It works well on that one. The older types do not work well with that one. They work for a while, but they get damaged pretty soon. And you will end up quite rapidly in a dead battery. This one is designed to that kind of use, and even more when you have this AGM type of a battery. Then there is also probably in your car is a system where it will resurrect or take the energy from breaking down, so that it will actually charge the battery by the kinetic energy of your car when you are braking. Well, yeah. Well, but that's, yeah, in some hybrid, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, in our case, EFB is enough. First of all, because we are in Finland. The temperatures here are seldomly that high that we need to use this, even could use this start stop functionality. And then I live in a rural area where we don't have traffic lights or anything like that, so it's not needed. So, well, that's one of the reasons why my car battery is now 7 years old. They usually get bad much sooner than that. Okay, well, that's one thing that you have to see. If your car contains, like this one does, an EFB battery, you must observe that when you buy the replacement, that it's EFB. Okay. The next thing, of course, is obvious, the dimensions. It's around 220 millimeters this way, and then this way it's 170. It should also have flat top. Well, there are some, but the flat top is really good for this one. Okay, so the dimensions should be quite near that what you have inside your vessel. Well, the best way to ensure is to measure them from the battery you already have there, the bad one. Okay, and then the last is the placement of these terminals. The positive should be on the right side here. Well, it's everybody is talking about the right side. Well, how about now? Is it still the right side? No, it's now on the left side. So, actually, when they state the placement of these terminals, they are talking about the view when you are viewing it from the front side is the side when the terminals are nearest to you. So, therefore, it should be on the right side, the plus terminal. Well, now that's about the battery types. Really see that if your Subaru has an EFB battery in, don't replace it with a normal battery. It will not. It will work for a while, but it will kill your battery sooner than you can say, hey. Okay, now preparing the terminals of this battery. First of all, you look that these terminals are really clean. They are. I put some grease into them. This is some super adhesive grease which sticks. Well, this I just have, and I know that in the comments you will now tell me that I shouldn't. No, you don't put the grease on that one. Well, as much as I know, this doesn't hurt the contact a bit. The contact will penetrate through this grease. It will. Yeah, and then I do the rest with my finger. Yeah, I just see that we have grease there. It prevents oxidation here. It prevents water from entering the contact. Now I put those into there so I don't lubricate myself when I'm putting this into the vessel. I believe these are readily charged so that you don't need to do that in advance. So, okay, but this is now ready to go into the car. Now, let's go out. Yes, I changed my hat. That was not very practical I had, so let's go out and see what's here. Open the door and see how it looks outside. Yeah, this is how the Finnish winter looks like. Today it's very beautiful day because, well, it's a beautiful day. So yeah, it's. I think this is actually very nice. Okay, but let's do the thing we had here. First, of course, we need to pop up the hood. And this is here on the passenger side, driver side, here under a lever like this. Yeah, and you got here the pop. And then there is a security latch in this one, so it's right under the stars. You just reach your finger there and then you push it to the left and then you can lift the hood. It is this lever here. So that's our patient, and as you can see it's, well, poison. Poison. 62 amp hours. Our replacement is a little bit smaller. So let me put this camera on a stand so that I can also do this job. Yeah, okay. The first thing to worry about is the negative terminal. This one you should take off before anything else. And this, actually, there is a plastic thing that you can rotate like this. And then these are all 10 millimeter. So you just undo these. Yeah. And this should come out. So, and then you put this negative terminal somewhere there so that it's not on the way. And yeah, this engine is a little bit warm, so please stay there. This engine is a little bit warm, so it's a good thing because these plastic parts can easily get damaged. There are these claws there which go around that one, so don't lose it, you need that one. And then this terminal as well. And don't use force with this one, it comes out easily enough. And then put it aside as well, well, doesn't want to be aside. And then you have these. Of course a ratcheting tool would be nice, but, well, I have the time. Okay, this helps. Yeah. I will show you soon what's down in there, so. Okay. Now where would I put this so it doesn't fall into somewhere unknown place? So you loosen these quite a lot and then you pull them down and at some point well, it should come off. There is a hole where it is. Aha, okay, now I see it. Yeah. So these are hooks like this. They go in there and you don't need to remove them from this, whatever this is. Oh yeah, okay. And the next part to come off is, actually there is a heat shield here. Like this. This is a heat shield. Well, it's made of something. Okay, now the battery is disconnected. Well, seems to be a Panasonic. I'm using that one to keep the thing somewhere aside so I don't, because it seems to be quite stubborn and it's on the way. So where to put this? There is a good hole, I believe. Yeah. Just having this to keep it from like that. Now it's off the way. A lot easier to operate this. Well, it's heavy. This. Okay, now I have my finger under there. And it's really, really, really heavy. Wow, got it off. And now, before actually installing the new battery, you could take this tray out, clean it a little bit, like this. Oh, well, it's clean enough. So, if you look into that, you can see that there is this arrow. It's pointing forward. And there are two holes here under, which those dents or nibbles or teeth should go into. It actually locates this tray there. Yeah. Well, now it's ready to receive my new battery. And here comes the new battery. Like that. Well, there you are. Yeah. And now the heat shield comes on, back on. I noticed that it's beneficial with. There you are. Heat shield is back on. And now comes the tricky part, the hooks. And now don't need my gloves anymore. You can thread these off quite a bit. I think this battery is a little bit taller. So it's probably easier to have the back hook first in there. It's there. Okay. Now what I do, it's there. What I do, I will now pull it off while doing this. And now it cannot come off from there. Then I put it there, and then we have finally this one, which was there was a hole somewhere. I think it was here in this side, maybe. Man. Oh, there it is. Yeah, and same thing here. I pull it up and thread it in. Okay. There you are. And now let's just tighten this. Well, I think this was a little bit taller. And these don't need to be tightened really tight. They just hold the battery in place, and these should be tight so that they don't come off by themselves. It's there. The battery is now there. Okay, and now the reverse, what we did with the well, that was an additional tool. So, you connect the plus terminal first. Oh, greasy stuff. Yeah. And don't hammer this. Just pull it down gently as far as it goes. And also loosen this so that it goes as deep as possible. Wiggle it a little bit and push it gently down. And then you tighten this. It doesn't need to be tightened like crazy tight. That's enough. There you are. Terminal number 1. And then we have the other one. Oh, this stuff is really stringy. The crease, I mean. Okay. And really, don't put the negative first. Always put the positive first and then the negative. This just holds the battery wire in place. So, yeah. So it's there. Now I tighten this one too. Well, a little bit more. Notice I really don't turn it hard. Just, okay, there it is. And then you put this back. And now because it has been cooling, it might, these clips, well, when it's freezing cold, they like to break. So very carefully if you are in a cold climate, very gently push it there, and there it is. And now I have this on the old battery to protect it from short-circuiting somewhere. Yeah. Well, because of the battery change, now some of the, maybe the infotainment system and maybe also the clock, etc., have been reset to some unforeseen, something unusable value. But first things first, let's see if this cranks. Yeah, actually it did start up. It had a peculiar delay when I first, I think it's because of the loss of information there. So therefore it was first doing some scans before allowing me to start it up. So next, let's close. That's it. We are done. Wow. So, that's quite easy to change the car battery for a Subaru Forester. It's in a very nice place and so on. Yeah, it's easy. Well, one thing, now you have a battery that you should get rid of. It's the old battery. Well, don't, please don't dispose it just anywhere. You should actually dispose it to, the place where you bought your new battery might. In Finland, at least, those have the obligation to take the old battery and take care of it. And if not, find out a recycling center which takes care of your battery. Don't put this battery into nature or, well, it's, and I wouldn't recommend to store them anywhere. It's pretty much useless. You really, it's trash. These are consumables. It's a consumable. It's supposed to get bad at some point. In my case, it took 7 years. Sometimes it's only 3 years. And, it all depends. Well, yeah. So, about hats. Oh, one more thing about batteries. Sorry about this talk about batteries, but about compatibility. So, if your car has an EFB battery, so the best choice is to have an EF battery to replace it with. You might replace it with an AGM battery, but those require a specific charging system which your car might not have. So yeah. And if you put an ordinary battery there and this car has the start-stop system, it will ruin your battery up normally fast. Well, yeah. So they are generally speaking, they are like downwards compatible. So you can always have a normal battery replaced with an EFB battery. But I wouldn't recommend to put an AGM battery in there because of this specific charging system. Well, now about hats. Well, my wife made me a very special hat. This is like this. Yeah. So, well, till next time. Bye.